Hi, this is Tisch Aitken, and it is Friday the 13th. It is the day before the annual solar eclipse in Libra that occurs on October 14th at 1:55 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 21 degrees and 7 minutes of the cardinal air sign of Libra. This is a big deal for a few reasons. To begin with, Pluto, which is the higher octave of Mars, and is the planet of death and regeneration, stationed direct on October 10th at 27 degrees and 53 minutes of the cardinal earth sign of Capricorn. We feel the buildup 5 days before and 5 days afterwards. The planet Pluto is connected with power, death, intensity. It can be very extreme. And it is the higher octave of Mars that can be cruel. And Mars was building up to a square with Pluto last weekend. And that square peaked on October 8th at 27 degrees of Libra and Capricorn. But we always feel Mars or Uranus before they become exact. So, the attack, the Hamas attack in Israel occurred on the weekend over on October 8th, in the morning of the 8th. There was also a huge earthquake in Afghanistan. There's a lot of unrest in the Middle East. Unfortunately, there is a lot of heavy energy. Mars is the most elevated point in the solar eclipse chart. This solar eclipse is at the world point. Eclipses can bring big news events. They can bring big events in our own lives, but also on the world stage, particularly when they occur at the world point. Anything at 0 or 22 degrees of the cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, impact people on the world stage. They can bring big events, and they hit all of us as we comprise the world. And this is a big time because it also defaults back to the Saturn-Pluto conjunction that changed the world. And the two met up at 22 degrees of the cardinal sign of Capricorn on January 12th of 2020. And that permanently changed our world and the structures in our world. And Capricorn rules governments and corporations, people in authority. And Pluto is now transiting at the last degrees of Capricorn. It will not get to 27 degrees again, although next fall it will return to the sign of Capricorn before it finally leaves Capricorn altogether on November 19th of 2024. But right now it's at the last degrees. Pluto is squaring the nodes of fate, meaning that many of us are taking a change of direction and where we're going. And the nodes of fate change signs on July 17th of this year. And they will transit in the Aries Libra axis through December of 2025. And that is a time where the North Node in Aries is about being courageous and being brave. The South Node in Libra, releasing blocks to love and releasing partnerships that keep you from being healthy and happy. But this is a big time because the nodes of fate, when they change signs, immediately set off the solar eclipse that set off on April 23rd of this year. There was a solar eclipse at 29 degrees and 50 minutes of Aries, and that occurred on April 23rd, 2023. And the nodes of fate, the North Node can join that point on July 17th, and then Pluto clashed with the nodes of fate 3 times in the sky on July 23rd, 25th, and 28th. This solar eclipse now also is in combat with Pluto. So there are things that we're releasing, although a new moon eclipse, a solar eclipse, is a time to plant new seeds, to set intentions. It is a time of new beginnings. realistically and inevitably, this solar eclipse will have a lot of endings. It's squaring the cosmic compost. That already has a lot of endings. Pluto is squaring the nodes of fate, a change in direction of where we're going. Some things are getting let go of, and maybe you're going more in a new direction that you've already started upon. Mars is conjunct the South Node of Karma out of sign. It left the sign of Libra on October 12th, and it will tour in the sign of Scorpio through November 24th of this year. And Mars rules Scorpio in ancient astrology, so it amplifies the Mars energy of this eclipse. And I cast the chart for Washington, D.C., and the chart has Capricorn rising, which means that Saturn rules the chart, and Saturn is currently at the very first degree of Pisces, a mutable water sign in which Saturn has no control. The ocean is amorphous, and Pisces represents the ocean. Mars is at the top of the chart in a sign it's very strong in Scorpio, where it's unstoppable. It sets off the solar eclipse that occurred on October 25th of last year. It also is conjunct the South Node of Karma out of sign. There is, again, fighting to release something. There could be a lot of anger and power plays. Libra itself is a sign of relationships, but with Pluto squaring the solar eclipse itself, again, there will be endings in partnerships or transformation. If you really want to work on something, you need to release a habit or a pattern that you're exhibiting or your partner is exhibiting in some way, transforming and up-leveling the energy. Neptune is in conjunct this new moon eclipse. So there's a readjustment. There is a point where you might be myopic and not see things clearly, or in some way there's something being kept from you, but it can be brought to light because eclipses are very revelatory. They bring things to light. The earth stands between the moon and the sun and cuts off the sun's light, and it brings things to light for us to see. And it brings in new beginnings no matter what. Eclipse periods are a time of major opportunities. So if something comes into your life now, definitely take advantage of it. But there are a lot of power plays. The intensity of Pluto, we feel 5 days before and 5 days after the station. So we feel it through the 15th, the day after the eclipse. And eclipses always come in pairs. So we have a second eclipse coming up on October 28th. That's at 5 degrees and 9 minutes of the fixed Earth sign of Taurus. This is the final eclipse in the Taurus-Scorpio axis, and this is where Jupiter, the luckiest planet, the grand benefic, will station direct on New Year's Eve at 5 degrees of Taurus. So bringing to form what you can expand later in the year, Jupiter does love being in Taurus, and it will transit in the sign of Taurus through the end of May of 2024. It's very fertile and abundant and creative while in the sign of Taurus. We need to focus on love. Saturn in Pisces is anchoring a lot of distraught and lost souls. We're all lost at sea, and we need to try to find each other again. We need to come back together. And PTSD is at an all-time high. Mental health and depression and anxiety, these are big themes to me. And the world is in chaos, but we need to come together in love. Arcturus and Spica are very successful. They're very ambitious. You fight for love. You have to, you don't want to fight with anger or cruelty, which Mars and Eris, which is Mars's sister, can be wont to do. But you do want to fight with cardinal energy to get things going. And definitely do the law of abundance for the new moon eclipse that is again at 1:55 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 21 degrees and 7 minutes of Libra. And this is a time to set new intentions, write them down, plant new seeds, literally and or figuratively. And I wish you a lot of luck. It's a volatile time, so lay low with that, and good luck. Take care.